Alright, so a majority of the missing no stuff is over for now, but before we can go on to defeat Blaine, we're going to take a slight detour. You may remember our run-ins with these guys. Originally I planned to have the update in which they appeared to be a Zazaz-centric episode, only to find out that apparently GameShark can't make Zazaz appear. We were forced to use the Mew glitch. However, we're going to be utilizing it a bit differently this time around, as there is more than one way of doing the Mew trick. This is one of those ways. Remember this guy? We used him for teleporting out of a bug catcher's line of sight to obtain Mew. We're gonna do that again with another trainer, but he's gonna play another far more vital role. Thanks to our horribly amazing supply of rare candies, Abra has evolved and has leveled up all the way to 97. We're stopping there because we need Kadabra's special stat to range in the numbers of 251, 252, 254, or 255. For some reason, due to Kadabra's stat growth, or IVs, or whatever, I was only able to make its special 251, skipping all other numbers for just before or after 1. Kind of annoying, but if Bulbapedia hasn't lied to me, then all should work fine. The trainer we're going to use is in the route between Saffron City and Lavender Town. It'll be faster to reach him from Saffron, but you could have some weird things happen if you haven't given the guards a drink yet. If you haven't given any guards a drink, your character will do this weird thing where he immediately looks to the left and quickly steps to the right. It's not really dangerous or anything, but, you know, it's strange. Here's our trainer, a gambler. Again, there are plenty of other trainers that you can teleport/fly out of the line of sight, but excluding the bug catcher at the Nugget Bridge, this gambler tends to be the second chance most people utilize in case the aforementioned bug catcher has been caught. The drill at this point is the same as usual. Stand one space in front of the gambler's field of vision, for here the space is in the front of the door that leads to the underground biking path, and press start right when you go down. Teleport out of there. Or well, actually fly out of there. We want our destination to be Fuchsia City, because the route to the east contains a very special and unique Pokemon. Oh, make sure you fight a trainer before finding the Pokemon, or else you won't be able to go to the start menu. For some reason, Pokemon battles don't count as a finished battle. Just be careful that you don't stand right in front of the trainer as he or she encounters you, or the game will freeze. Once that's done, go out and look for a Pokemon. Thankfully, despite being rare, we come across this Pokemon pretty quickly. Hopefully you know what the novelty of Ditto is. You see, before Gen 2, Ditto had a gimmick besides being an organic sellout. He can transform into other Pokemon. Don't ask how, but I have a sinking feeling that Kadabra is faster than Ditto, and any damaging attack it has would kill Ditto in one hit. See, the issue with Ditto's gimmick is that it takes one whole turn to transform, more than enough to mash it into little pudding puddles. So make sure you have some sort of stat boosting move or something to give Ditto time to transform into Kadabra, or whatever Pokemon you're using that contains the required special stat. When the transformation is complete, beat the living alright, I already said pudding, goo out of it? Make sure you don't use any moves that would lower its special stats. That could fuck this whole process up, but well, we'll see in a bit if that's true. Now, I couldn't find a decent explanation to what I'm about to say, so if this sounds weird, I apologize. From what I gather, it seems that when Ditto transforms into a Pokemon, the game registers you fighting a Pokemon that has the same stats that Ditto transformed from, except downgraded in a way that the stats won't equal in a way that a level 1 Ditto could immediately become a level 100 Mewtwo, as if it would have the chance to transform. Yet somehow the game still registers the battle as one against a Pokemon with a special stat as the same one Ditto transformed into. So allegedly, by the game's rationale, you did beat a Pokemon with a special stat of 251. I don't know if Ditto still works the same way in later games, but apparently there's some funky stuff you can do to him in Gen 2, not involving the daycare. Anyway, with that done, fly to Lavender and go west. You'll end up in the same route as the Gambler, which means that start screen will pop up like usual and you'll exit out of it. The game goes into battle mode, and, well, you can see the rest. Okay, so it's time for another one of my fourth wall breaks. Now, if you've read the original story, you're aware that this isn't exactly what happened to Met. Despite me following the instructions provided by Met to a T, we got different results. But what's odd about this is the instructions Met follows in the original story still result in a game crash for him, albeit in a more interesting way. You see, what's supposed to happen when we follow these steps is a glitch trainer battle similar to the ones we saw in episode 5.5. But for both of us, using the special stat of 251 didn't work. But something that's even more interesting is the second time I attempted this trick. You see, despite Met's warning not to lower Ditto's special stat, I ended up doing it on accident. I was curious to see what that would lead to, and to my surprise, it led to the upcoming trainer battle, the one that was meant to happen in the story. Just another example of how volatile these games are, I suppose. Back to the video. I'm going to try to do this trick again to get the desired result. Since 251, for some inane reason, turns my Kadabra into a Bulbasaur before crashing the game, I'll try the next best thing, 253. To cut out the middleman, I did the trick again, same steps and all. Hopefully this time it works. Would you look at that? The Burning Boat Trainer. Normally I would be all blah 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 same old, but it actually has a full party of Pokemon this time around. Curious, I decide to fight. So the first thing the Burning Boat Trainer does is send out this monstrosity. I'm calling it that for two reasons. I totally see an outline of some giggling fat dude in that mess, and two, the cry this thing has, it breaks the game's music. It's like a slowed down version of the champion battle theme. Turns out that's all it takes for it to be incredibly creepy. Killing 8 didn't do anything, but the music continues to be bastardized, and it plays like this throughout the entire battle. After killing 8, Burning Boat has quite the exotic Pokemon collection. I'd be lying if I said this wasn't the most diverse party I've seen glitches have throughout this playthrough. And again, we haven't really met that many glitch trainers. Most of these Pokemon, I think Rhydon is the only one you can easily find, can be labeled as rare or only obtained once. However, what really throws me off is Burning Boat's last Pokemon. Yep, that's missing though. Sources state that these glitch trainers mess up RAM, which results in cases like this, but that's such a lame explanation to me. I personify my glitches with an attitude. Read my fic. I don't actually have one. Unlike the last time we beat the Burning Boat Trainer and got to explore Glitch Haven, this one crashed after a split second. But since I was recording, we can see what it looks like for that split second. Some may see this as a success, but I don't, because that wasn't a Zazaz fight. I'm not sure why Zazaz hasn't appeared despite using two different numbers that are supposed to call it down. These glitches can be so fickle. So instead, I shall point you to another video on YouTube simply called the Zazaz Glitch. Allow me to explain why this guy has things such as exploding Bulbasaurs in the video. Okay, to start, the Zazaz Glitch overwrites several game variables with the hex value 99. This is why there were Pokemon in the video that were level 153, because a hex value of 99 is equal to the integer 153 in standard decimal. It is also associated with the letter C and the move Explosion, which is how the player's Bulbasaur knew more than one explosion. This suggests, or rather definitely confirms, because you can see the effects right there, that the glitch has a huge change to the trainer's Pokemon data. Oh! Also, it seems that the hex value of 99 corresponds with Bulbasaur, explaining all of them in the party. Another thing this glitch does is somehow trick the Pokemon into thinking they are not the original Pokemon of the trainers, and act as traded Pokemon. Since the glitch has upped their levels to 153, they will disobey, because not even the final badge allows trainers to command traded Pokemon that are over level 100. After fighting or escaping the Zazaz glitch, you can do so by throwing a Pokeball, which ends the battle whether or not you somehow catch the opponent's Pokemon. Any other trainer you fight afterwards will become the player's trainer sprite, as well as their name, their transformed Zazaz name, or perhaps a different random glitch name. Most of the trainer's Pokemon will be Charizard M in red and blue, Q in yellow. We'll look into Charizard M soon enough, just know that Zazaz glitch trainers love to use them for now. By the way, don't save after fighting Zazaz, the game will break and become corrupted, so you'll have to start a new file. This sounds a little familiar, right? Remember the first battle I showed? I think I managed to fight a Zazaz without even knowing it. God fucking damn it. We're gonna put a pin in this for now, but we'll come back to it. We're mostly done with this. However, as an opportunist, I thought of something while fighting Burning Boat. That is, whether or not we can catch his first Pokemon, 8. And well, catching it is perfectly fine, just go straight to nickname and everything. There isn't any entry on 8 that I know of, and I'm not really planning on keeping him. There are only a few things I wanted to check out for this Pokegod? I don't even know. A quick overview of stats and moveset. Not exactly impressive. Its Pokedex number is 95, which is Onyx, so I guess the defense and special stats would make sense as well as the moveset, not to mention the abysmal attack. As a matter of fact, I tried leveling up 8 and I pretty much got the same moves Onyx would learn, no super glitch or TM or anything. Pretty dull in that aspect. However, one more interesting thing about 8 is that its cry is this strange mix of one of the regular root songs. Sadly, that was all I was able to do with 8. Not wanting another blocky, 8 was promptly stuffed into the box for safety. Oh, in case you were wondering, yes, catching 8 does not make any sort of error appear, because the glitch trainer doesn't end up saying anything after the catching occurs. So is all this a waste of time? Of course not. As a matter of fact, you could say that this was only training for our new Pokegod, which we're going to obtain through the same U-Glitch tactic. H-Pokey, you have waited far too long for your power leveling opportunities. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait a little longer, hang on. Now you can finally be fed rare candies, so we can encounter our new friend. H-Pokey is interesting in that it learns Conversion, a move where the user copies the opponent's typing. Normally only Porygon and its evolutions can use Conversion. To be honest though, the only use I can think of for it is as a stat-like turn to use so Ditto can safely transform into H-Pokey when it has to. Thankfully, we managed to get its special to 196. No, shenanigans with EVs or IVs here. This really is some strange crap, and I would have never believed in this if you told me about it when I was 10 or so. Then again, I may be overestimating my young self. I believe the friend who told me there was a trainer stronger than Red hidden in the ruins of Alphen Crystal. I looked everywhere. Strangely enough, Ditto transforms into H-Pokey pretty smoothly. Well, as smooth as you can get, I guess. And now it's time for the main event. Ladies and gents, through the Mew glitch, I introduce to you A's little bro, A. Try not to confuse them, as they are different in some aspects. Usually he appears as a Poliwhirl, but mine's kinda broken. I know I'm dealing with the genuine A though, because this guy's name is long. Very long. Anything that has A's name in it, like a text box, will require multiple button presses to get through. There's just a bunch of blank space after the glitchy block following his name. It's actually really annoying. There is a remedy though, just give the Pokegod a nickname. Doing so will delete out all the extra space. Also, check out the weird characters in the nickname screen. I don't think I was even able to select them, just a tiny side effect I suppose. Despite him not showing up as Poliwhirl when I battled him, you can definitely tell that's what this glitch is based off of, just by his moves alone. Here you can see the moveset just fine in battle. It looks like what a Poliwhirl or Wrath would know at that level, so I guess that's okay. We will not settle for okay, however. We have the power to turn these things into death machines, and that's what we shall do. During level ups, A doesn't really learn any glitch moves. TM50 is the most notable one, but it's not even that impressive. Just double slap with insanely high PP and low accuracy. As I continued to power level A, however, an impasse appeared. It seems that A, in my game, cannot go past level 13. After that, the game just crashes. I've read that you can go farther, but I've tried save stating right before the level and going up several times. Game froze every time. Sorry A, you were just not meant to be the very best. I know I can learn moves like Mega Punch, Mega Kick, and like Egg Bomb, but mine was only able to learn Horn Drill due to its low level. To finish, let's check out A's glitch dex entry. A can be encountered by performing the extended Mew trick using a Pokemon with a special stat of 192. It appears that A's end of name character is improperly placed, which means the name is not properly terminated, because there are several lines of glitch blocks surrounding the name. As a result, you must press the A button repeatedly in battle to scroll through the glitch's name before every action. To eliminate this, give a nickname to the glitch. There are reports of the game freezing when it reaches level 9 and it tries to learn the TM50 move. This is pretty much a direct copy-paste with description, as it's pretty much stated what I already said before. Although I am curious about TM50 freezing the game, that never happened for me. With all that done, let's return to Cinnabar. We have one thing left to do there. That's kick Blaine's ass with our wonderfully overpowered Missing No. Before we enter the gym though, here's a weird one. If you surf along the coast of Cinnabar for Pokemon, then leave and walk directly straight to the gym door, you get this message. That's not the weird part though. The weird part is that dude chilling on the roof. Why is he there? No one really knows. He's been given the nickname of Hanging Man by some. Whatever I said before about derpiest sprite in the game, I lied. This is the derpiest sprite. Come on, it looks like a dog. Of course, after taking down Blaine's Growlithe, Missing No downgraded back to level 100. Game Freak just won't let me have any fun. I figured it wouldn't matter too much, since Missing No still had a 60 level advantage against this Ponyta, but I was horribly wrong. Missing No's speed and special just can't stand up to the Ponyta, and I wound up getting stun locked by one of the most annoying moves in Gen 1, Fire Spin. A move which leaves you immobile for several turns, unable to do anything, including use items or swap Pokemon. You stand there and take it. Luckily, the reliable trio of H-Pokey, Point 4, and Mew were able to take care of business. We get our Volcano badge, and bid farewell to wonderful Cinnabar Island.